Welcome to the Magnetic Creator Podcast. I'm your host, Melanie Mishler, and each week we have intimate conversations about the things that matter most in life. My superpower is helping you remember who you truly are, a powerful, magical creator. I give you proven tools to help you get unstuck and manifest a life that sets your heart on fucking fire. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're going to dive into something that's so important when it comes to creating a goal, reaching success, manifesting a desire, up-leveling your life, whatever you want to call it. I often use these terms interchangeably, so I don't want you getting stuck on semantics. But the thing that's so important is getting crystal clear about not just what you want, but why you want it. And here's something interesting, maybe even a little unexpected that I've noticed, which is most people are really clear on what they don't want. I hear it all the time when I ask people what they do want. They'll start off saying things like, I don't want to be in debt anymore. I don't want to be single anymore. I don't want to feel stuck in my relationship. But then when I ask them, wait a second, let's get clear on what we do want. Often things get a little bit more vague. I'm very often met with a blank stare like, I'm not really sure. And this is really common. A lot of people struggle to get very clear and specific about their desires. And not just about what they want, but actually why they want it. And if this sounds like you, first of all, I want you to know that you're not alone, not by a long shot. I know me personally, I probably spent the first 25 years of my life being very skilled at focusing on exactly what I didn't want. Whether it was with work, relationships, or life in general, it was very easy for me to be clear about this because, well, it was my lived experience. I was living it every day. But here's the thing. The more I focused on what I didn't want, that's exactly what I got more of. Because that's how manifestation works. It's how the law of attraction works. The more attention you give to something, whether it's wanted or unwanted, it doesn't matter. The more you give that attention to it, the more you call it into your life. The more you're going to see it, the more you're going to experience it. So the first thing we need to do is to shift our focus. It's great to know what we don't want because that is kind of the contrast. There's a contrast that we can use to clarify our desires, but we don't want to stay there. We want to use it as a tool to get clear. Because friend, that clarity is the foundation for creating the life that you really want to live. And let me tell you something that I've noticed, especially when I ask women what they want. Like I mentioned before, they get very vague. And it's not because they don't have dreams or desires. It's because we've often got used to toning them down, to making them more realistic, to not dreaming too big, to not wanting too much. I know this was a big thing for me when I was growing up because I was taught to want more is to be selfish and greedy and I should just be happy with what I have. And I think this is a really common experience, especially for women who we've kind of been taught to play small, to not take up too much space, right? So today what we're going to do is get crystal clear on your desires, on what you want and why you want it. And I always like to think of this as making a really good vodka. I know that's a funny analogy to use with manifestation, but let me explain this one because I have a friend who owns a vodka company and the vodka they make is amazing. It is so pure, it's so good, and it's because it goes through this special distillation process that removes the impurities and leaves behind something clear, clean, and guess what? Even more potent. And that's exactly what we need to do with our desires. It's kind of about taking that messy mix of ideas or expectations and distilling it down until you're left with a pure, clear clarity about what you truly want. Because the clearer you are, the more potent your desires become, just like that vodka. And the more potent they are, the more activated they are in your mind, in your energy. And yes, I know this sounds a little bit woo-woo, but stick with me. Because here's the thing, our brain will focus on what we tell it is important. This has to do with something called the Reticular Activating System, or the RAS in our brain. Now, I know that sounds like a big word, but it's not. It's super simple, and I promise I'm not going to get too sciencey on you, but basically it's like your brain's filter system. I've talked about this before. And because your brain is processing so much information throughout the day, it has to filter out the things that are not important. So if you imagine that you are in a crowded room with a big party, lots and lots of conversations going on, you obviously can't hear or pay attention to all the conversations happening around you. But I'm sure you've experienced this. If someone says your name across the room, suddenly your ears perk up. You hear it because your brain knows that you're important. It's listening out for things that are important to you. Same thing happens if you ever decided to buy a car, right? As soon as you decided the car that you want and the color you want, you see that car everywhere. Not because there's more cars on the road. It's because you've told your brain that this is important. And now it's filtering out all the cars on the road and showing you the ones that you think are important. So this is your RAS at work. And this is why it's really important to get clear on what we want so that our brain can identify important opportunities or important experiences that match our desires. So the easiest way that I found to get this kind of clarity is to use an exercise that my coach taught me, which is the 7 layers of why exercise. And basically what this is you just ask yourself what you want, and then you keep asking why you want it, and just keep distilling that down, just like making a vodka. Just keep asking yourself why. Why? 7 to 10 times. And it might sound simple, but trust me, it is so transformative, because what you are left with at the end is a pure form of what you really want, to experience. Very often we'll start with something tangible or something that we think we want, but when we get down to the why, it's a totally different experience. So let me give you an example of this. I'm going to walk you through how this can look in real life, okay? Let's say your goal is, I want to be successful in my business. Okay, that's great. But first of all, I don't even know what that means, right? Success means a million different things to a million different people. So we have to get clear on, one, what does success mean? But also, why do you want that? So what you would do is you would just start distilling down. Why do you want to be successful? Well, because I want to make more money. Well, why do you want to make more money? Because I want to have financial freedom. Well, why do you want financial freedom? Because I don't want to worry about money. Why don't you want to worry about money? Because I grew up feeling insecure about money, and I don't want that for myself. Okay, well, why is it important to feel secure? Because when I'm secure, I can relax and enjoy life. Why do you want to relax and enjoy life? Because I want to feel peace and freedom. Do you see how we're distilling this down and getting really down to the core of the emotion, to the energy that we want to experience in our life? And here's the thing. Once you know what it is you want to feel, what you want to experience, well, you can start finding those experiences right now. You don't have to wait to experience freedom and peace. You don't have to wait until you're successful in your business. And here's the flip side of that also. I know many people who are, quote, successful or, quote, making a lot of money who don't experience freedom and peace, right? They might feel stuck in their career, or they might feel stressed out, on edge all the time. So those two experiences do not necessarily go hand in hand. And by distilling this down, we know we're getting to the core, to like the pure essence of what we really, really want to experience. I hope I'm not rambling too much and that this is making sense. So here's what I want you to do this week. I want you to take some time to get really clear, distill down the clarity for you on whatever it is that you think that you want. I promise you, you will uncover something that you did not expect. And there's no right or wrong here. This is just about getting clarity for yourself. Because once you have that, you can start looking for micro moments to experience the feelings that you want to experience now. Because here's the truth. Whatever we think that we want, we only want it because we believe we're going to feel better or we're going to have a better experience when we have it, when we achieve it, right? Whether that's more money, a different job, a different lover, a different house, we believe that we're going to feel better when we have it. But we can feel better now. We can experience the emotions that we want to experience now. This is an emotional universe. It's an emotional world. This is all about feelings. I know when we talk about manifestation, everyone always wants to go to the stuff, but it's so much more than that. It's not about the stuff. It seems like it, but it's really about our experience. It's about our feelings. It's about our embodied state of being and how we show up in the world. And so I want you to get really clear on that, on how you want to feel, on who you want to be, on how you want to experience this one sweet life. Time is going by so fucking fast. We don't have time in this sweet life to just be wasting on going after things that are not going to bring us true fulfillment. Okay, friend, I hope you got some value out of this. And I really, really hope that you will take the time to distill down your desires to get very, very crystal clear and make them potent. Once you have that clarity, you're telling your brain, hey, this is really fucking important to me. Be on the lookout for experiences, for things that match this important thing. And guess what's going to happen? Your brain will start giving you things that match. Things will start unfolding. You'll have wonderful synchronistic moments. All kinds of fun stuff starts happening. So friend, I hope you enjoyed this short and sweet episode. Until next time, keep manifesting an epic fucking life.